Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to show you a tour of our van. So I know we've been doing van life for a few months now, so it's a bit overdue, but yeah, excited to show you our van, so come along. This is Pegasus, our 2016 long wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter van. We bought it end of December 2021 and started working on the conversion in January 2022. We handed it over to a company to finish the conversion in September 2022, as we did not have enough time to work on it. We have since driven from the UK to Denmark twice, and since July 2023 we have lived and worked full-time in the van and travelled around the UK. We are starting the tour in the front of the van. We installed a new infotainment system so we could listen to music through Bluetooth and use the screen for the reverse camera that we also installed. So this is our back seats, and yeah, these seats are have a seat belt. So you can actually sit here while driving, and I have done that multiple times before, so I was able to use this table at the same time, either for watching something, eating, or doing something on the computer. There are two seats here, so we could sit two people by this table. However, both the driver's seat and the double front seat both swivel around to make a really large open seating space. So when we swivel them around, the driver's side would then be sharing this table, and the other passenger seat would have its own table. Both this table and this table are both removable. This gives an option for more people eating here, or if we both wanted to sit down while working from home. That said, I tend to stand in the kitchen area because I like to stand while working. We use the space underneath the seats for storage. This is where we keep our snacks and other cupboard foods. On the side of the chairs we also have two wine holders. So on the back of the passenger seats we have some storage here, and then we also keep our shoes here. This is where we keep the shoes that we use the most. So we're now in the first part of the kitchen, and this is the sink area. We wanted the sink in front of the window so we could see out while doing the dishes. We got both the sink and the tap in black, and I'm really happy with how this looks. We got this roll-up dish drying rack for larger dishes like pots and pans. And we got this smaller silicone mat for smaller dishes like cutlery and cups. We got this little bin on the corner of the sink. This is great for catching any food waste so it doesn't go down the drain. You can pull out the top of the tap, and it has two spraying functions. Above the sink there are lights. These sit under the cupboards. Next to the sink we have our hand soap and dish soap. These are removed while driving. Above the soaps we have a kitchen roll holder. We got this in black to match the tap and the sink. On the side we have our hand and dish towels. So underneath the sink here we have a few things here on the left side. One of the things is the switch for the light on the ceiling. So these are divided up in two different sections. We made it this way so that when we close the curtain into the bedroom, any lights above the bedroom you can keep them off in case someone wants to be in there and have it dark in there, and if someone wants to have the light on in the rest of the van. The next thing we have here is some USB plugs. These have been great, and we use them a lot to charge our phones. So we use these also when we don't have the inverter on because they run on the 12-volt system. Underneath here we have our remote. This is the remote to the Max Air fan just above us. This fan is capable of drawing in fresh air and expelling it out. It has a remote, but also has buttons on the fan itself and a manual control to open and close the lid. We have used this fan a lot, and it is great for ventilation. When you open a window and make the fan extract the air, you can very quickly get fresh air in the van. Again, under the sink, but on the right hand side, we have our electrical controls and our heating controls. The first one is our electrical control screen. On this we can see the battery percentage and how much energy we are gaining and using. We also use this to turn on and off our inverter. We can also see how much fresh water and wastewater we currently have. This screen is for our Truma heating system. On here we can see the current temperature and control heating of the van and heating water for the sink or the shower. This can use both electricity and diesel, and we can use the screen to decide which one we want to use. We have 3 heating outlets, one in the front, one in the bathroom and one under the bed. So next to the sink, on the same side, we have the bathroom. The bathroom has a light with its own switch on it. The toilet we have is the Tredford Porta Potty 365. We then have some storage on the walls. These are all hung with removable hooks in case we want to change it. Under the ceiling we have a steel extendable washing line for drying clothes. Our bathroom has a full-size shower, which we have used multiple times and is very handy. Moving to the other side of the kitchen, where we have this extended part of the kitchen for extra storage. This is where we have our bin, but also where we store things we might need to get to quickly, like our first aid kit and fire extinguisher. The end of the table has extra fold-up countertop to make the countertop even longer. The hob is a 2-burner induction hob. It has a boost function that heats up much quicker. We use this a lot for boiling water for tea and coffee. Under the hob we have a drawer and cupboard. This is where we store all our dishes, pots and pans and some food. To the left we have our isotherm fridge freezer. This is a compressor fridge. The fridge is 83 liters and the freezer is 32 liters. Next to the fridge we have a storage cupboard, and under the bed we have access to the garage, which is handy when used for storage. So this side of the kitchen is where I normally work. So in this box, this is where I keep my laptop and portable screen. So I wanted to show you how I use my portable screen. So this decorative sign is simply here to hide this plastic piece on the wall. So I have the same thing on the back of my portable screen. And I simply hook that into the one on the wall, and then I have my screen on the wall. I'll then put my laptop here, my keyboard here, and connect everything, and then this is a perfect working station for me. We have extra security set up for when we leave the van. We have extra locks set up on the side door and on the back door. These locks are from van security systems. On the side here is also where we have a little hook for the keys. In the beginning of van life, we kind of never really knew where the keys were. Someone probably had them in their pocket somewhere in the jacket. But then we put this little hook up, so we always put them in here when we get into the van, and then we just always know where they are. So for charging our laptops and other things that uses 3-pin plug, we have these double 3-pin plugs with USB sticks 3 places in the van. So we have one up by the seat underneath the table up in the front. We have one here next to the hub and where I work, and then we have one down just next to the bed. Up here we have our internet. So this is the Netgear Nighthawk M1. How it works is that we put a SIM card inside it and then it works like a Wi-Fi. So the company we're using for the SIM card is ID Mobile. So there was two reasons that we went for them. One was that they're using 3 mobiles network. So both Emil and I's phone are using O2 network. So the idea was that if 3 wasn't covering the area we were in, there would be hope that maybe O2 would be covering that area and we could hotspot from our phone instead. Although I must admit so far that hasn't really been the case. It's usually been that if one is not covering that area, the other one isn't either. The other reason that we wanted ID Mobile was that we could use our unlimited data in EU countries as well. So once we drove to Denmark, we used it in the countries on the way to Denmark, but also in Denmark. We had to change a few settings to get it to work, but after that everything worked just fine. So it has 2 antennas connected to it underneath here, which runs to the back of the van. These are there in case the signal are not strong enough. We've actually found that sometimes when it's very low, we put the antennas out and it's much better. So that said, it might work fine without the antennas for someone just watching movies or browsing the internet, but both Emma and I work from home and we are doing that from the van, so we need really good internet, especially when we are joining meetings online. Above the counter we have a fruit net where we keep our fruits and vegetables, and there are more lights under these cupboards. We use this stool to get into our bed. The bed is the same width as a double bed, but is shorter. We have a small window on each side of the bed. On the back doors there are 2 nets, which we use for storing things like books and our phones during the night. Above each side of the bed there is a flexible reading light. They both have a USB outlet for charging our phones. Behind the curtains is where we have the antennas rolled up. If needed, we put these out the window and they sit on the side of the van as they are magnetic.
Excuse the road noise in case there's some cars going by, but let me explain the systems. So if we come closer, so we've got actually the electrical system's in there, but here's our garage space where we keep items that we don't need in everyday use, like some shoes, some camping stuff, some extra blankets and whatever, like some water and stuff like that. So that all goes in there, and it's literally our entire double bed is the garage space. So we've got a lot of storage underneath here, and also Wendy has put some bungee cords, but they're removed now. But we put some bungee cords here, so we also hang some stuff inside. Also, if you look here, we've got some garage lights here. So during the night, it's all nicely lit up. And then in this corner, here is our outside shower hookup. So there's just one of these simple attachments, and we typically store it in the back. But with this shower hose, you literally just plug it in. Like this, you press it in, and then so this is also connected to the hot and cold water. So the further you turn it, so now it's going to be hot water. If you turn it backwards, it's going to be cold. But this is great for rinsing our feet. You've probably seen some of the videos when we visited the beach. It's great to wash your feet off. So yeah, it's really good use. So typically we divide the garage into 2 sections. One is for storage and one is for electrical with this divider. So let me remove it now. So this is our electrical system. We've gone with Victron Energy. They are, from the research we did, they are the best in the business. They're a little bit pricier than other systems, but since we've gone with pure electric. We have no gas in our camper and we've just gone with electrical system, so we wanted to go for the best. And all our inverter, charge controller, MPPT, solar controller and so on, they all talk to each other, so they all link with Bluetooth, so it really works together, it's really well. Then for battery, we've gone with a 460 amp hours lithium ion battery from a company called Roma. They're quite good. This is one of the bigger batteries they do, and it works great for us. So for the Multiplus 2, so our inverter is the Multiplus 2. It's 3000 watts inverter, and it's also a charger. So if we are at a campsite or anywhere and we need extra power to our battery, we can charge offshore. And charge offshore, we've got behind this door. So this is where we can plug in at campsites or anywhere. It's a little dirty, but yeah, we can top up our battery, or we can purely run off campsite energy without using anything of our battery. So we can switch the system to run that way. So our battery, we can charge it in 3 ways. One is with a AC power from offshore. That goes through this Multiplus inverter, and it also can run the entire van just from the offshore, and it can charge the battery to top it up if you need to. The second way is we've got 800 watts of solar up on the roof. We've got 4 large solar panels which output for 800 watts, and that can be charged. And the third way we can charge is with the car's alternator that goes through the charge controller, that can also charge the battery while the car is running, a van, not even a car. So let's take a closer look at our electrical setup. So this is our inverter, as we talked about. Then this is the Links power, which it links all the systems together. So we've got the battery cables coming in here, and then we've got the outputs to everywhere, and also the inputs for the charge controllers. Then next to that is our smart solar. This is our MPPT charge controller. So we've got the solar coming in through here. I've got a breaker switch here, and then from the breaker it goes into MPPT, gets converted, and then outputs through here into the distribution and then into the battery. Then next to our smart solar charge controller is our Orion TR Smart. It's 12 by 12 -30. This is the DC-DC charger from the car's alternator. When the car is running, it can charge our battery. It comes through here. I've put an extra breaker here from the car's battery. If I don't want it to use it, I hit the switch, it disconnects. So I only use that when we really need to. And then we've got all types of breakers here. We've got the main smart battery shunt here. It's 500 amps, so when it senses low battery or overcharging, it disconnects our battery so it doesn't get damaged. So it's automatic system. Then down here we have a Bluetooth temperature sensor. It's connected to the battery to monitor the temperature, and it's connected to all the systems to tell how hot the battery gets or how cold it is, and if it gets too cold or too hot, it tells the other systems to disconnect. And then finally we've got the Serbo GX, where all of these systems are connected to, and that's the inside the cab. You've seen the Serbo GX screen from the inside the car, inside the van. We can control all the systems, we can monitor them, we can see how our battery is doing, and also our water tanks and our grey water tank is connected to that, so we can see how much fresh water we have and how much grey water we have. So now our fresh water and the grey water, they are underslung tanks underneath the van, and we've got 80 litres of fresh water and also 80 litres of grey water. And then before I forget, let me show you. So down here, we've got the little breakers for the 12 volt system. And then up here in this box are our breakers for when the inverter is running for the 24 volt system. So this is a cooker, our other plugs, and the heating system for hot water. So the breakers are here for that. Next to it we have the van security system. It's the brains for it is in here, and this controls the 2 extra locks that we have for the security. That's there. So we've got this big 3000 watt inverter as I spoke about, but we also installed another inverter. I can't remember what it was. It's 1600 watt inverter. We installed an extra inverter so we can run some extra lines, so we don't have to run the big system. So this is when we want to charge something small, maybe a laptop or something that doesn't have a USB, then we can run the little inverter to charge smaller units. But the big inverter is for our cooker, for our heating, hot water, and all the plugs in the system we want when we need the big loads. Let me show you how we deal with the liquids. So down here, this is our outlet for our grey water. So we just park underneath a drain, open it up, and the grey water comes out of there. And then from fresh water, we've got a similar thing here. Take off this protector, we plug in a freshwater hose, open it up, and our tanks get filled. And from the inside we can monitor what the percentage of fresh water we have. And then this is our exhaust for our Truma system. So as probably Wendy already mentioned, it's a hybrid system, so we can run it purely from electrical or purely with diesel, or a hybrid of both. But this is the exhaust where the fumes come out.
So that is our van Pegasus. If there's anything around the van that you saw that you would want to buy yourself, if I bought it on Amazon, it will be on my Amazon storefront. The link is down in the description below. But yes, that is everything for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our van, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.